I'm Camille from Camille's Farm Ideas, and today I have a singing time lesson plan for teaching the third verse to Nephi's courage. Now, as I mentioned in the previous video, I like to teach the third verse separately because the first two verses are so similar because they talk about all the stories of Nephi. Well, the third verse is more like personal application. So I kind of like to do something completely different for the third verse. And if you need to, you can do this in one singing time. But for me, I like to break it up and do it over 2 different Sundays. So this is what I recommend for teaching the third verse. What you'll need is a little, I call him a Nephi crown rather than a mask, because a mask would go over your face. I just like this to go over their forehead. So it kind of goes like that. Anyway, so I just put a piece of elastic on this. I mean, you can even just put a stick on it so they're holding it if you'd rather go that way. This printable is available on my website below. I made this years ago and I've lost the actual original printable, but I did scan this in, so it's not quite perfect, but it works. But if you really want, Susan Fitch has a way cuter mask available for Nephi with her kit that you can purchase if you want. It comes with the puppets that were with that I used in the first and second verses. So you can use that mask too, if that's what you want. So anyway, so you just need a little mask. I printed mine on cardstock, laminated, and then attached some elastic. You can put string on the back, whatever, or like I said, a stick, so it's more just like they're holding up to their forehead if you want. Okay, so when you're starting the third verse, if it's a different Sunday, I would definitely review the chorus, the actions that you learned, because you're going to be singing that with the third verse as well. So I will go. Do you remember we're going to draw a shield? I will go. I will do. Draw your sword. And then you're going to wave that sword. The thing the Lord commands, or slash it. That sounds a little more enticing, right? Or unenticing. A little more heroic. Rather than waving the sword, we're going to hold it and slash. The thing the Lord commands. I know the Lord provides a way. He wants me to obey. All right, so that's the chorus. Then you just repeat that. So we're just going to review that quickly. And then what I like to do is just tell the primary what I just told you. The first and second verses are all about the stories of Nephi that actually happened in the scriptures. But the third verse talks about how we can be like Nephi. And so for young primaries, I have kind of a few different ideas. So if you've got a combined primary, I would definitely cater to the older children. Young kids love to still participate, even if they may not quite comprehend what's going on, but they will be able to grasp some things. So it's fine. So if you have separate, what I would do for the young children is just have, depending on the size of your primary, one or a few kids come up and put a mask on. A mask, here I called it a mask, a crown. Wear a Nephi crown because we're trying to be like Nephi. And you can just sing the song, and then singers can put on the crown, and then if they want, they can just come stand up front while you sing with the child. And then what you can do is ask them how they can be like Nephi while you're singing. Can you think of a way that you can be like Nephi? And then after that, you can just write that way on the board. So if you have all the kids up front, if you have a few kids up front and they're dressing like Nephi, we're like Nephi, how can you be like Nephi? And you can give a few examples. You know, you can be courageous, faith, obedience, determination, perseverance. I mean, there's lots of choose the right, even when it's hard. Lots of examples. And you can just sing. You and the teacher sing as the child or children, a few children up front, are wearing the crown. And then you can write their answer on the board in between. Okay, so if you are combined or have senior primary, what I recommend is writing the words on the board. And we're going to just kind of be, I hate to say racing, but we're racing against the song. So someone's going to start and put the mask on. And then they'll get the eraser, and we're going to start singing. But to be able to erase, you have to have the crown on. So you've got to get the eraser, put the crown on, get the eraser while we're singing, and then you need to erase a word. So we're going to erase a word, and then you're going to pass the eraser and the crown to somebody else. And they are going to do the same thing. And as you're singing, the goal is to erase all the words. You can only erase one word per person. You're trying to erase all the words at a time before you finish singing the song. So, and then what you can do is if they do it, then try singing it without the words. And then I would probably, if I had the words to post for this activity, I wouldn't have them out. I would have them turned back. And then what I would do is if they're all erased and there's still more time, put them back and have the kids help you. Okay, what word comes next? So the younger primary, they don't need to know what's up there. They love erasing. They love just coming to the board and erasing. So even though they may not be able to read, they can still erase. And what's even more fun is if you could have the older primary tell them, be like, okay, you're going to help a younger child and you're going to help them. You maybe bring them to the board and lift them up high if you need, and then you're in charge to help them pass it off to somebody else if they need. So it might take, a few times singing the song before you actually finish getting all the words erased, which is wonderful. So don't we all love reasons to keep going? So it's really simple, but it's just kind of a fun challenge to see if you could get the entire song erased before you finish singing it one time through, or maybe we did it in 2 times, we did it in 5 times, let's see if we can knock it down to 3, and then we got it down to 1. So, and maybe, kids will be like, well, maybe if we just pass it down rather than, let's go sporadic, who knows? Anyway, just make a fun challenge out of something as simple as erasing words off the board. They'll love it. They'll have a great time. And then you can always do the actions to the chorus in between. So really simple, really easy. And then I love how we're trying to be like Nephi. We're putting on this crown. So at the very end, just make sure to bear testimony to your primary children that they are special. Heavenly Father sent them here at this time in history because he needs them. And then tell them that they can decide to be the Lord's superhero, just like Nephi. They can have faith, be valiant, and obedient. So anyway, I hope that helps you with singing time this week. I'd love to hear how it goes in the comments.